Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a man accused of shooting family members is giving his side of the story from jail. And officials are asking drivers to be cautious on the roadways with the annual uptick of deer.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Madison Carmouche. We are at 5:30 this Tuesday morning, and today is a first alert weather day. So let's send it over to meteorologist Mace Michaels for a look at your forecast.
Thankfully, no problems this morning, Madison, other than fog. We have less rain around, but the storms will really be firing up for later this afternoon. Visibility here in Jenkins, not too bad, a little hazy off in the distance, but the visibility coming down here in Hazard. Earlier on, we were able to see everything back in the background, from the hills to the city lights, and now we barely can see those lights. Low 60s for our latest temperature. Although the visibility is listed at 4 miles in Hazard, I think there are areas where it's locally dense and obviously lower. Visibility at 2.5 in Jonesville and around 2 miles in Prestonsburg. We have 60-degree weather in most areas, even as warm as 70 in Somerset and also right around Monticello. Showers and storms, we have them. Not widespread areas of rain, but a little bit of light rain as you look towards Norton, and some showers popping up to the northeast. More storms back to the west from Louisville to Lexington. So with our first alert weather day today, it is for a slight risk of severe storms. We have the concerns of maybe some hail and some brief gusty winds. For later on this afternoon and this evening, it's a level 2 slight severe risk. Tomorrow, concerns for heavy rainfall and pockets of flash flooding. More on this all coming up. Madison, your forecast today from 60s now to 80s later.
All right, Mace, thank you. Yesterday, a federal judge in Florida ordered the suspect in an apparent assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump to remain in custody until his trial. Ryan Wesley Ruth was arrested earlier this month after he fled Trump International Golf Course in West Palm Beach. In a new Justice Department court filing, the FBI said a fingerprint found on a piece of tape attached to the rifle recovered from the golf course preliminary matches Ruth.
He identified a threat, an individual with a long gun, and he made swift decisions and took a swift action to be able to mitigate that. No shot was fired at the former president.
The suspect is currently facing 2 federal firearm offenses, but prosecutors indicated they will ask a grand jury to seek a charge of attempted assassination of a political figure. We continue to follow updates on last week's shooting that resulted in the death of Letcher County District Court Judge Kevin Mullins and the arrest of Sheriff Mickey Steins. Yesterday, Kentucky Attorney General Russell Coleman announced that Sheriff Steins will appear virtually for his arraignment at 11 tomorrow morning, with a Carter County District Judge presiding. Both Coleman and the Commonwealth's Attorney Jackie Steele are handling the prosecution. A Wayne County man is talking to us from jail after police say he tried to kill his mother and grandmother. Police were called to a shooting at a trailer off Old US 90 in Monticello late Saturday night. That is where they say they found 50-year-old Audrey Jackson and 94-year-old Savannah Brock, both with gunshot wounds. Audrey Jackson told police that Chase Jackson had shot them both. From jail, Jackson says another person did the shooting.
So as soon as I jump back out, jump back inside, I'm running to my grandmother's room and get the keys. As soon as I get the keys, she's talking about your mom's been hit or whatever, and I'm like, come on, we gotta go, because I don't know if dude's gonna come back in.
Police say Chase Jackson was found walking along Kentucky 90. He is charged with attempted murder and assault. An Indiana woman credits God for saving her life during the mass shooting on September 7th along Interstate 75 in Laurel County. Janet Booth was one of 5 injured in the shooting. Booth was driving home from a hiking trip in North Carolina when she heard gunshots and saw cars pulling off the road. She was shot in the leg. A wounded driver approached her and used a bag from her car to stop the bleeding. She was flown to a hospital where doctors determined that surgery for her fractured hip was too risky, leaving bullet fragments in her leg. She says recovery is expected to take 6 to 12 weeks.
I have a bullet hole in my upper thigh that the nurse said that she could put her thumb in it. It's quite large. That man had 2,000 rounds of ammunition and a high-powered rifle.
Last week, Kentucky State Police confirmed a body found in Laurel County is that of suspected I-75 shooter Joseph Couch. The state's chief medical examiner says the body was positively identified through DNA extracted from the bone. The medical examiner says the body was badly decomposed. Couch's cause of death is believed to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. In Laurel County, a man is facing charges after police say he struck a woman in the arm and face during a domestic dispute. The incident reportedly happened on Sunday off South Stewart Road, roughly 10 miles from London. Sheriff's deputies were called out to a business parking lot after receiving a complaint. Police say Tony Adams began cursing at deputies and was not cooperative with investigators. He was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. A student in Floyd County was arrested after officials say they made implicit threats to other students at Betsy Lane Elementary School on Monday morning. Floyd County Sheriff's deputies arrested the student and later determined that no one was in any imminent danger. The student is now charged with second-degree terroristic threatening. School district officials say they will continue to work closely with law enforcement during the investigation. Students attending Montgomery County High School and McNabb Middle School in Montgomery County can no longer bring backpacks to school. In a post on social media, the district says it was in the interest of school safety. As part of the policy, students can bring a small satchel or fanny pack, but purses and drawstring backpacks will not be allowed. Sentencing is delayed again for the man accused of killing a Scott County deputy. Stephen Sheehan-Shang pleaded guilty to burglary in Kenton County in April. He is accused of shooting Deputy Caleb Conley during a traffic stop the following month. Police say he then went on a crime spree through Lexington. Sheehan-Shang was supposed to be sentenced for burglary today, but that has been delayed until October 8th. His charges in Fayette and Scott counties are still pending. Now that fall is officially here, police are preparing drivers for an increase in deer activity during the next few months. The National Traffic Safety Administration reports more than 3,000 deer-related crashes in Kentucky last year. Richmond Police Chief Rodney Richardson urges drivers to stay vigilant, especially at dusk and dawn, and to always wear your seatbelt.
A lot of these areas where these collisions occur, the state will post deer crossing signs. So if you see one of those, I would probably slow down to at least a speed where you could stop very quickly if needed.
Officials expect increased deer activity through January during their mating season. The U.S. Department of Education has named 5 public schools in Kentucky as 2024 National Blue Ribbon schools. 3 of those schools are in our area: Corbin Middle School, Cold Hill Elementary School in Laurel County, and Northern Elementary School in Pulaski County have been named Blue Ribbon winners based on the overall excellence in the classroom. These schools were among 356 schools nationwide recognized this year. The Kentucky Department of Education Commissioner Dr. Robbie Fletcher provided this statement about the schools being recognized. Quote, "I congratulate and thank our newest Blue Ribbon schools for their hard work to ensure every student has the skills they need for a successful future. This award highlights the commitment to excellence that teachers, staff, families, and communities have, as well as their dedication to be all in for their students." End quote. Starting in 2025, the Kentucky Supreme Court will be led by a female Chief Justice for the first time. Deborah Hembry Lambert was announced as the next Chief Justice on Monday. Lambert, who is a Bell County native, was elected to a 4-year term, which will begin January 6th. Secretary of State Antony Blinkin says the government is continuing to defend against misinformation online. Blinken spoke at the Freedom Online Coalition ministerial event on AI for Humanity, charting the global course for human rights-based governance. The Secretary of State says officials are defending democracy more and more on the internet.
Members are working to build a more resilient global information system and to hold accountable those seeking to undermine democratic elections. Critically, we're shaping the frameworks and the rules for the responsible development and use of artificial intelligence, technology that perhaps more than any other will affect the future of freedoms, online and offline.
Blinkin says they have created the world's first multilateral hub on AI and human rights, hoping to set a foundation for how artificial intelligence works. When we return, HBO is putting the pieces together in the darkest light with its preparation for the new Green Lantern show.
Waves of rain likely over the next couple of days. First alert weather day today and tomorrow. Details next.